And hi to everybody out there. We are coming to you live this morning on a very chilly morning from the 2025 Handgun World Shoot in South Africa. We've got a bunch of guests lined up for you today. We got out here early this morning, got everything done. We even had our first rain of the match, so you're actually watching us under lights for the first time. So I want to say welcome to everybody for joining us. It's been an interesting week. We've had phenomenal results from our social media team, and we're at, I think, about 600,000 views and counting so far. So super appreciative for all of you guys joining us. We're going to be running 2 or 3 or 4 streams today. We have to break in between. So some of the questions we've been getting online is, why do we take these breaks? Well, first thing is, if you don't know, we're operating everything off batteries and all our cameras and everything. There's no hardwired cameras here. We were unable to get wiring put into place. So those batteries have to come back. They're going to be charged. The camera's got to be cleaned. It's very, very dusty out here. My laptops and everything are covered in dust. So appreciate your patience with that. We'll do the best we can. As I've said to many people so far, previously we had nothing. Now we have something, and we're going to keep working on making it better. So in a couple of minutes, Chris Tilley from the United States is going to be joining us. He is literally finishing up shooting as we speak, so you might actually see him walk past in the background here. After that, we're going to have Bill Drummond, who is, of course, the host of the next IPSC Nationals in the United States. He's going to be joining us, and we're going to be chatting with him. After that, we've got Bellino, Jose Bellino. Jose is the mastermind behind ESS. We got him coming in, and he's going to be showing us some of the new cool graphics and data that we've got coming to you guys. I ask for a little patience. We've got 2 camera crews out there running right now, but it has been tough, and it has been a challenge for them, but they're doing a great job, and I really want to say thank you to all of them for doing that, and to my production team that under tough conditions today with the rain and with the wind and having to drop our shadows and change all our lighting setups and everything. So having said that, I'm going to bring in Mr. Chris Tilley from the left-hand side. Chris, come in and join us. All right, so Chris, welcome to the broadcast, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for coming out here and doing this and putting all the hard work and all the time that it takes to do this. We really appreciate you pushing forward with it.
Thank you. And you know, just so all of you out there know, this is a team effort, right? There's a whole bunch of us that have been working on this together. I've had a fantastic support from all the big guys. I've been told I've got to stop saying big guys. Frank Garcia yelled at me yesterday for saying that. But
well, some of us are big guys.
yeah, but I talk about the big guys being obviously the top shooters and so on. But thank you. It means a lot to us. And, you know, this is, I think, the way we've got to go in the future.
Well, I mean, if we want to grow it, you know, and we want to have future generations do it, we got to do it this way, because we got to get money in it for it to grow, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, because you're also involved in the business side, because he's an instructor and he has his own place. And
yes, sir.
That your dad, your dad introduced you to, didn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, we're Americans, we love shooting. We opened up a business to do so, and one of our employees actually found us and took us to the range one day, and it never looked back. I think it was 96. I was 11 years old. It was the first time I shot a match, and yeah, I'll shoot till the day I die.
And you shot a bunch of world shoots, right? I think you're at like 6.
Number 8. This
Number
is my
8. This is your 8th one.
Yes, sir.
That's incredible. What do you think of this one first? And then secondly, tell us about world shoots in general.
Yeah, so this one, what's awesome about this world shoot is the format of how fast you get to shoot. It's there's a little bit of a mental challenge for it, for me anyway. Some people, it might hurt them more or help them, but for me, it's a very simple stage as far as the layout, and there's not many ways of shooting the stages tactics-wise, but you almost need that with how fast-paced. We're shooting 6 stages in 2 hours. That's local matches can't even do that.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of the pros and cons that we can talk about in World Shoot. So while we watching, Chris, that's our monitor. That's what's going out live out there right now.
Brody.
This is stage 20. I think you guys shot that this morning, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So talk us through the stage.
You know, it's a cold morning here right now, even the second start here. So it's a load, it's an unloaded start. That's always a little nerve-wracking when your hands are cold. And it's an aggressive stage. You're getting low. There's a little bit of awkward movement of just getting low and coming back up and finding the targets visually. And it's really about points. I think you're going to find out for the most part, everyone's going to be within a second or so. It's going to be who shoots always.
This is obviously the Australian shooter. We'll see if we can pull up his score here for you guys. Stats, if you want to jump over to our stats computer. So Chris hasn't even seen this part yet, so we're going to show Chris the scoring for the first time. Oh, we can't go to stats just yet. Okay, so we can talk. That was Brody McIntosh from Australia.
Yeah, a beast.
Yeah, he's insane. He's a senior, which is kind of unfair to the rest of the seniors worldwide.
Absolutely.
And the guy shoots like 92 to 95% of the overall score.
Since I've known Brody, so I've known Brody since 02 when I shot the first South African match for me here in 02. I met Brody, and he was a phenomenal shooter there, and it seems like he gets better with age.
This is Martin, also a phenomenal shooter. He's from Czech, as you guys can see. I've shot against Martin.
Solid
when I say shot against him, I've shot with him, I should say. So I'll get too carried away here, right? That was also a solid run. So there's a bunch of Czech people on this team. This is actually the team here. You can mention a couple of people we know in there.
Yep.
Robin Sabot might be coming up here shortly. I can actually tell that. Yeah, so Marek is on deck right now. Marek is also a phenomenal shooter out of Czech. The Czech people, I don't know how familiar you are with their shooting program, but they've really put a lot of, CZ, who's our match sponsor, is the primary sponsor for the match. They put a ton of money and time and resources into developing the Czech shooters.
Yeah.
You've shot the Czech Extreme?
I have not shot the Czech Extreme. I've only shot the U.S. Extreme when they came over here, or they came over to the U.S. But it's definitely on my bucket list. Hopefully next year I'll make it.
Yeah, it's a great match to go to. And it's a pretty inexpensive match because Czech is not that expensive.
Right.
You fly into Prague, you drive from Prague down to match.
But you're right about there. I mean, guys like Miroslav here, I mean, they produce a lot of good shooters out of there.
Are you ready? All right.
Great load and first shot there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll actually be able to tell his first shot here in a second. We can actually look at some of the others. See, Brody had a first shot of 2.92.
Yeah.
That's smoking. Anything under 3 seconds on a load and a movement and crouching, I mean, that's pretty good. We'll know that score here in a second. This is actually a new thing. We can't show it to you just right. We'll show it to you in the next session. We haven't got the stats live yet for you guys, but this is Robin. Robin's actually a good friend. So you see the blue, how it changed to blue?
Yeah. It's a great system.
Yeah, they're developing. It's actually it's one of the reasons I like ESS is that, literally Polino is here with us. So, I could go to him and say, hey, can we do this? Their programmers, ESS was built for match management. We're shooters. We want shooting data. And remember last night we were sitting at dinner last night. Well, when I went to bed last night, I was sending him a whole bunch of suggestions based on what you guys were saying. And literally today, some of those already came in. I mean, how amazing is that, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is Robin Sabot.
He's a good, smooth shooter, isn't he?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yep.
He won the Czech Extreme in Czech Republic this year. Aaron Edens, our shooter, of course, was second in that match. I think it's second.
That sounds. I think that's right.
I think it's second or third. Yeah, right there, right at the top. Robin is also a really cool guy, and actually, Robin. See, we're talking about the broadcast thing. So, I have people in Europe. Eric Raffel's one of them. Robin is another one that are actually going to help us when we set what we've got here. When we actually start doing broadcasts in Europe. It's an international thing. This is not just a U.S. thing. Obviously, being from the U.S.,
it's a sport thing.
It's a sport thing, yeah. And that's something that I really try to emphasize to everybody that, we're actually going to have some of the Brazilians are going to come in and do their own little interview here in Portuguese or whatever. This is stage 19.
Some big boys from the U.S.
Yeah, this is second session, of course, right? So they are up. There they are. There's Christian Saylor. That's John Fleega on the right. Christian next to him. Then Aaron and
did you say Brian and John?
That's Brian. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's Brian. Brian had a tough day yesterday.
Did he?
He had one stage that he shot. He had some issues with his gun. Scope went out, I believe, something like that. So the U.S. team is in the front. We can actually talk about that here in a second. I've actually got their scores that I was going to talk about, but you can introduce it. So these are the open scores. You can bring that up. You see the open overall team.
Okay.
That's them.
So we're still leading.
Yep. They're up by 100 points or so over here.
Yep.
US had a really good day yesterday. Of the US teams, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail later on when we have stats that you guys can all see. But the open overall team is lying in first. The open senior team is in first. The open super senior team, which is my team, we're in first. Open ladies is in second, but they're literally 1 point behind
tied.
the
That's
Philippines,
tied.
which is basically a tie.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of shooting still left in this match.
I when you look at the teams, me personally, 100 points isn't like an individual 100 points. I look at it as like that's a 20-point lead.
Yeah.
You know, 25-point lead.
Correct.
Because of how the points work, and there's so many of them. Percentage-wise, what does it? Do we have a percentage there to show second place?
Well, we can work it out. So there are 100 points on 1,400. So yes, so 10% would be 146. So it's 7% difference. But I mean, it's still wide open.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
You could drop 2 mics on a stage and
there you
drop
go.
50, 60 points. 40, 50 points. This is stage 20 that we're looking at right now. So I will take blame for stats not being up because I changed power cords a few minutes ago and pulled the stats computer down. I'm sorry. My production crew over there rushing around trying to figure out how we lost stats.
It's a maze of wires and stuff over here. It's amazing with the weather how well you guys have managed, guys.
I'll be honest,
Really good.
Chris, it's been a challenge, and they've done an amazing job.
y'all
Everybody
have.
has.
Yeah,
I
y'all
mean,
have.
all right, they have stats. So let's flip over to the screen right now on stats, and we could kind of talk about what we're talking about. So, Chris, here we go. So, obviously, that's the overall. This is open. So, you're looking at the open teams. This is overall, which is what used to be called the men's team. And you can kind of talk about those numbers.
Yeah, so looking, they take the best 3 of the 4 shooters there, and that can rotate and change throughout the match. And still early to day 2 starting right now. So it's really, as I'm looking at it, I mean, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, they're all pretty much tied. We're a little ahead, but not enough ahead to make me happy. We gotta push that and stretch that out a little bit more. We need to crush them.
All right, so they're just finishing their walkthrough. We're going to try and bring you as much of those stages as possible. So when you guys see us switching back to us, just because I've had a few people, it's like, why is so much of us talking? Whenever the cameras are not able to be shown, they switch back to us. So it's basically we have 2 to 3, sometimes 3 cameras out there. We've got people helping us with a lot of these broadcasts. We can only get to certain areas. There are a lot of limitations that we have, but hey, at least we're bringing you what we can. And a lot of these, like you guys runs this morning, that was early. We weren't, our system is not set up to go that early. So we actually recorded that, and we're going to show that probably in about an hour's time.
Gotcha.
What stage are they on?
That's the field course stage. I believe it's stage 19.
19. Good job. You shot that this morning.
Yes.
Let's
Yep.
see,
right when the sun was coming up over the berm.
All right, you guys want to jump back to stats, and we'll show them stage 19. All right, so talk us through that.
So 19's it's relatively a pretty easy course for a field course. You're pretty much shooting T1 through 3, static off the draw, 4, 14 and 15. On the move, going to 13 and 12. So I stayed in the back, going to the right. I'm expecting most people to stay in that same tactic. Going up, I went to T10, the plate 1, and then T11. I did a mag change there and came up and shot T6 right in the sun. That's where the sun was really hurting in the middle there. So those are things that changed with the World Shoot. That's very unique. Some people get rain on certain stages. Some people get cold weather and such. This stage right here, really, other than that no shoot on T6, everything else was about shooting good points and being clean on the still, no pickup shots.
So this is still a walkthrough. Talk to us about what you look at in a walkthrough, because this obviously that's Christian in front there right now.
You're just trying to minimize everything. You don't want to do anything extra because extra is more time. You're trying to figure out where's the best place to be to merge positions, making sure that you can find the alphas with your eyes good, with the different lightings and such like that the stages might create with shadows and such, the sun. and just figuring out what the round count is, making sure you're shooting all the targets and you're not doubling one target and not one target, things of that nature. We had a couple of issues like that today of people not shooting targets, but they shot the right amount of rounds. And where you're going to do a reload if that's a requirement on the stage. So in open, we usually only reload once a day on the field course. Sometimes it's more than that, but usually once a day.
We'll jump back here. We'll show you Chris's scores for the match so far. If you want to run the stats, as soon as they start shooting, let's jump back to that camera though. So this is where it all lies, right?
Yep.
You want to talk us through? So we'll talk about that stage first. Obviously, that's 19.
Yeah. So great. I felt pretty good on the stage actually. You know, a little nervous in the morning, real cold, and I shot 4 Charlies, but I went to a target and didn't have a damn hit on it. So it was one of those things that's you got to swallow your pride there and go, well, I did something wrong and figure that out and get on with it. But I was a little slow. I feel like I could have been about a second quicker, but I wasn't pushing. I was really aiming and still ended up with 2 misses.
So, of course, I pick on your worst stage of the day. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. But I looked at the screen. I was like, oh, great. Chris is going to kill me right now.
Oh, no.
So this is the life we lead. I mean, you got to eat what you got,
exactly.
what you get fed, right? And how do you get past that? I mean, that's you know, what do you tell yourself? How long do you kind of whine or think about it?
Well, I mean, you got to get over it quick because you got another stage to shoot. But it's nice to figure out why you did it. For me, I'm not going to say it was the sun, but I remember having a visual there. I called like an Alpha Charlie, but slightly to the left, and maybe even the Charlie could have been a Delta. I was shooting high on the target, so the angle of the target, I was probably either pushing him over the top or to the left, and I could see the no-shoot more than I could see the target with how the sun was. So I probably shot over if I would guess in there.
Gotcha.
One of those things, obviously I was a little too aggressive with my eyes there. I should have more of a visual zoom to find that Alpha. Yep. It's a big mistake.
Tell us a little bit about your school that you've got. We touched on it a bit earlier on. How do people reach you? Because, you know, it's one of the things that I've, for years and years, said that the best way to learn to shoot is to go take a class.
Absolutely.
The ammo you shoot out, learning yourself, the mistakes you're going to teach yourself, that's a terrible way to go. I trained that way, and it's taken me a decade to get rid of all the bad things I taught myself. What do you recommend? What do you suggest, and how do people get in touch with you?
GoShoot.com is our store. Go Shoot is our local match as well, our outdoor club of USPSA and IPSC, and everything based off of that is GoShootOutdoors.com is that at you to the website there. But one of the big things for us is we do 4 match days a week. We do an indoor match, that's one day, and then we have a 3-day local match. And for me, if I can work with somebody a couple times a month for just an hour, and then also shoot with them every week, and we can talk. Being around, you know, that you don't have to be on the range all day to learn little tidbits here and there that can change your whole thought process and the better and get you on the right path. And essentially what I'm saying is get around your better shooters. You know, listen to them. You don't have to talk, but you do need to listen. You know, watch what they're doing. There's a reason that they're doing what they're doing. Some of these guys are really good, and they don't even know that they're doing things that are you know, perfect or close to it. So watch what they do, film them, study the video.
Perfect. Well, we're going to watch Brian go through this stage. Chris, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
I'm going to bring Bill in here, your buddy and your fellow squad mate from this morning.
Yes, sir.
We really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leighton.
We'll probably chat more. Okay. All right. Well, as Brian finishes that run, welcome,
Good day,
Mr.
sir.
Bill Drummond.
How are you, sir?
I am good. I'm good. Bill's one of my close friends. Can I say that? Sometimes I want to kill him, but every now and again, he's been a coach, an instructor, and a good friend of mine for many, many years. We've traveled all over the world together. It's a pleasure to have you here. I had to kind of like wrangle him off the stage to get him to come down, but happy to have you. Welcome to the World Shoot.
I appreciate the invite. Great atmosphere, great aura around here. Your presence, as well as the casting is quite impressive. Very nice service.
Thank you very much. Well, you just got, you had a challenge. I'm going to bring it up. Bill didn't get his gun until yesterday afternoon about what time? 5 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30 yesterday afternoon.
So I missed the entire first day, yep.
Yep, and so they're going to have to figure out how to get in shoot through the match. There'll be some challenges with that, but you rocked it this morning.
I don't know about rocked it. I had a good time. IPSC's a little different. Also, World Shoot, you know, it's 30 stages. It's not like a 12-stage match where you just turn the afterburners on. You can lose a lot at any single day, but you have to remember there are 5 days to go through, so you have to kind of keep it calm, confident, but also driving the force to make sure you're getting the points, getting the speed. So I tried to maintain that. I had a little mistake on the first stage. Again, hadn't practiced at all. Gun came right out. Didn't even get to warm up this morning. They told us we could, but they opened the warm-up bay at the same time our stage started, and I was like the second or third shooter. So anyway, got my points, got everything, but a swinger came out, and I was so antsed. And again, in America, you know, we always have these fast, quick swingers. Swinger came out, ba-ba! 2 deltas like snake eyes, because the swinger comes out nice and slow, and I'm expecting it, whoom, and I'm like, ba-ba! And then I keep looking at the swinger like, oh, by the time I finished the stage, it had finally finished its first presentation. So I was like, okay, back it down, let's focus, this is a long match, let's get it in gear.
That's crazy. And you know, you talk about these swingers. You have trained me on swingers probably more than anybody, and you set these things to be rocket speed. But then you get here and it's slower, and you've got to adjust to that. And this whole match is about one of adjusting, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot of positions, a lot of shooting on the move. Even the moving targets, not super difficult, but not easy. You have to pay everything a respect here, or else you can really start dropping points. Not that it's difficult, but you start dropping those points, you can't get them back. This is IPSC, which hit factors are typically low. However, this World Shoot, we have really high hit factors, which means, yeah, we got to go fast, but you can't drop those points because, again, a 12-round stage is only 60 points. It's not like we have a bunch of 24s and 32s. So when you have the 3-2-1 format, which is 3 short courses, 12, 12, 12 rounds, 2 mediums, 24 and 24 at maximum, and then a single 32, if you give up a lot on the small stuff, there's nowhere to get it back.
So Brian shot that last stage. He was just before us. Let's talk about his scores here real fast. We got that going out. 27 alphas, 5 charlies on a long course. That's good.
Yeah, and it's not a very difficult long course, but it does demand respect. There's a couple shots on there that are tight. There's in the, I think, 4th position, there's a no-shoot, somewhat distance. But the fact is, you're running and gunning so quick, and then you kind of have to slow down for that. You need to make sure that you're 2-foot racing because a lot of people are pulling shots over the top. Also, the sun here in the morning on that section, a majority of the sections, is very difficult. It's right in your face, so it's kind of hard. I myself, not making excuses, I got all my points. I was good, but I'm colorblind. And with the way the lighting was, the dirt in the background and the target kind of faded in. It camouflaged itself. So my game plan for that, as corny as it sounds, and this is not a technique I recommend to anybody, but I said, hey, just aim over the no-shoot, pull the shots. As long as my dot lifts within a respective holdover of that no-shoot, I'm good. But Brian, I watched him do that on the video. He did a very good stage run. Good plan, good entry, good exit, good orientation. So that was a pretty good run. Only five Charlies, too. 9-6, yeah, see what I mean? Those hit factors are up there. It's not a trick here. Typically in IPSC, you have a lot of 4s, a lot of 5s, couple 8s, but some of the hit factors here are definitely off the charts for your standard IPSC match. So, you know, I got here, looked at a lot of the stages because I didn't have my gun. I'm busy waiting for it. And you look at it, and it can be deceiving. A lot of people always say, oh, this match looks too easy. Oh, this match looks too hard. But remember, it's the same match for everybody. We all have the same playing field, so give it the respect it is. If it's a fast match, guess what? You better be fast, but you better be accurate, too, because you start dropping deltas or mics, you're out of the game.
Yeah, especially on a short course.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody had a mic no-shoot on a short course yesterday, and the hit factor dropped from like 5 for the rest of the crowd down to like a 1.7.
Yeah.
That's pretty serious.
It's murder, and it's hard to get that back because, again, like I said, you only get 1 field course per day, so where are you going to pull those points out?
Right. So you're obviously looking at stage 19, I think we're on right now.
Yep.
Stage 19. This is the long course. This is the super squad, if you guys want to call them that, the top guys shooting. You shot in the super squad at the last World Shoot, right?
And the one before in France, yes, sir.
What's the pressure like on a super squad? You've got a lot of people watching.
So a lot of people would think that it's very commanding and kind of anxiety or fatigue ridden, but it's almost the opposite. A lot of the USA guys, like last time when I was on it, it was Chris Tilley, Casey Asubio, Christian, and myself. It's actually a good presence because we kind of help each other, not pump each other up and say, hey, really pay attention to this position. Hey, when you're here, I see this. So the Super Squad in Thailand was really good. And then again, when I was in France, I had Max Michel, Shannon Smith, Chris Tilley again, and myself, almost exact same atmosphere. It's really kind of a good feel. But don't get me wrong, when you're against, like we were against the Australians one time, French the other time, I mean, there is the stress and fatigue of trying to smoke those other countries. But your teammates are helping you, and it does feel like a good presence.
So you guys noticed that shot. Our cameramen have been allowed to come a little deeper into the stages now. As I've mentioned over the last 3 or 4 days, we weren't able to do that, but obviously that gives us a great advantage of being able to see the stages. That was Nino that just shot, Nino Lavista.
Yep.
We'll see his score coming up here in a second. Obviously Brian right now, so if his name shows up there, obviously that's the first time that Bill is seeing this. He shows up there, then that's the squad highest score. So Brian right now holds the highest effect on the squad. We'll see whether Nino, his scores come up. There you go. So Nino's an 808. And here's your fans all waving.
Nice. And you can see that Brian did it. I'm a little bit blind here. Did it about 2.5 seconds faster, but here we go again. You see that Nino dropped 7 Charlies and 1 Delta, where I believe Brian only had 5 Charlies. So even those Deltas start to add up. Again, if you add those Deltas over 30 stages, typical match, say it's 10 or 12 and you have 3, well, triple that now. Instead of 3, now you have 9. The equivalency is almost 4 or 5 seconds at the end of the match. That can really add up.
We have some quirky thing if you guys are paying attention. You see this 01 and 044. The time is picking up some sound on the draw, but because I assume his first shot is 115.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is I'll show you a new feature that we have here, Bill, is that it'll actually record the number of extra shots fired on a stage. But in this particular case, if that 01 and 44 is there, that almost for sure is going to show up in the extra shots, so to speak, which is not correct. That's part of something we're working on, is to be able to analyze stages more. I won't get into that too much now because Bill's not a huge fan of all this electronic stuff. Bill just wants you to shoot, right? I mean, you and I have had this conversation for a while.
My mind is totally in the game. I totally appreciate the social media campaigns of everybody, and Action Streaming Live is phenomenal. If you guys were here, the service they're providing and just the, again, the excitement. Hold on, let's watch this run. Good position, shooting on the move. So did you see him shoot that plate from the 3rd position?
Yeah.
He actually probably called a bad shot. Did you see how he hesitated with the gun? I want to say he got lucky. He deserves it, but you can tell that he probably thought he pulled off that. That's why he held the gun instead of immediately transitioning. That's kind of what this match is like. Again, it's so fast that when you're on that ragged edge, again, you're trying to get your points, but when you're on that ragged edge, it's so easy to make a very small mistake. And again, that right there was probably only worth 1/10 of a second, maybe 15/100ths of a second, but add that up over 30 stages, here we go, another 3-4 seconds. But let's go back into that social media campaign that we were talking about. So yeah, I'm a big fan of putting hard work in, drill after drill, and I'm not a big social media presence. But Action Streaming Live, you guys have done such a phenomenal job here. All the guys working. If you guys saw all the vehicles, all the infrastructure, all the equipment that's here, this isn't just a typical single camera running around doing something. You guys have a big presence, so great job, Leighton.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, and of course, going forward, we're going to be much better prepared. We were pretty well. We have about 8 cameras sitting back there we can't use. Yeah. But IPSC is going to, in the future, give us more access to stages. We will be able to put cameras into the stages using fiber optic, etc. This is kind of like a proof of concept for us. I wanted to show it can be done.
Yeah, and it's good that IPSC's working with you. Just like you said, when we started, the cameras had to stay way behind. Now they're letting them come straight in. Here we go. We got Christian Saylor, stage 19. Let's see how he burns it down. Super smooth, super hard in and out of positions. I'm sure the accuracy is there. We'll see these points as they pop up. But as you can see, he was driving pretty hard on that stage, maintaining a low physical body so that he could really shoot that gun on the move and get his points instead of just running and gunning. Went 1 for 1 on the plates, which is important. So as his score comes up, we'll look at it.
You're a big fan of that shooting low. I know you're always yelling at me because I've learned to shoot high, which is the wrong way to go.
Yeah.
But shooting low, why? Balance?
Think of it like a pendulum, but reverse, okay? If it's up in the air, if you have all this body weight moving on top, you have to counter the gun, so you're always swinging. If you can keep your center of
Mass.
Yes, thank you, sir. If you can keep your center of mass more local, there's less agitation as you're shooting on the move, which allows you, it gives you the ability, I'm not going to say you're going to shoot better, but it gives you the ability to have a more controlled gun, transition, acquisition, and obviously shooting on the move.
Stats, if you want to switch back to stats for me. So I want to show you something. You see that blue at the bottom?
Yep.
That means that the time has been entered.
But it's pending.
But there's still scoring, and he has a sign for it. In a second, we'll leave that live. At a second, you'll see that'll flash to green, and then he scores. There we go. And now his scores are showing up here. And this was designed for us.
Yep.
This whole system, I'll be able to show the scores we can talk about, etc. So there we go. He's up at the top. He came in at 9.7. Just got ahead of Brian
Jodes. But was he not a second faster? Oh, I'm sorry. He was a half second faster, but dropped 1 more Charlie. So there we go. He's ahead, but points and that time are very important. We got John Leaguer out here. I guess we lost a little bit of audio. I thought all of a sudden his gun wasn't running. But I was like, that's not good.
Why
That's not good.
Why has he got his gun up and there's no running? Yeah, and on the audio thing, that was one of the areas we've had a lot of issues with. Our transmitters that transmit video are different to the audio. So we sometimes have that. We have that problem at Area 1. And guys, you got to understand, we're out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's dirty. It's dusty. I mean, the conditions are terrible. So definitely not designed for switching decks and stuff.
Also, I'm familiar with this with my range, but the orientation of all the bays, it's not just a symmetric line. It is literally all over the place, like a catacomb of different bays. So I'm sure some of those bay walls are a hindrance on some of the communication coming back.
So if we roll down here, you'll see he will probably be shown in blue. There he is.
So he's pending.
Yep, so he's pending. There we go.
Looks like we got Aaron Edens on deck right after John.
Yeah, it's really cool to be able to see these coming through live.
Absolutely.
And what we're also, I haven't got that on this particular screen, but I was being shown early this morning that that's also how they're tracking the match progress.
Yep.
Okay, let's have a look.
Can we go all the way up so I can see I'm blind as a bat?
There we go.
Okay, so again, John was in the high 15s right there with Christian. 8 Charlies. So just a little bit behind, but it does put him just behind Brian Jones, because Brian Jones just had a couple more points. Again, that 5 Charlie versus that 8 Charlie is the difference that literally leaves Brian ahead, even though he was at 16. I apologize, I'm blind. Is that 16:30?
16:10.
16:10, I'm sorry.
All right, here's Aaron.
Aaron's rocking it. Clean reload. Looked like a good run. Again, aggressive in and out of positions, maintaining good body language so he can shoot that gun on the move. That stage, there's a lot of shooting on the move. It doesn't seem like it, but your entries into it, you are shooting on the move. You're not just stepping and starting to fire. You're shooting as you're coming in and actually setting up on your second target by the time you're position oriented.
So take a little bit of credit here. You actually have been training with Aaron for, what, 2 years now?
I've known him since he was a kid, man.
Well, since he was a kid, but I mean like all the time training, right?
So I'm very fortunate. I don't want to say I did anything for Aaron. Aaron's a force on his own. He's driven, very determined, and work ethic is paramount. His dad, when he was back in North Carolina, when he was a kid in high school, took a couple classes from me. And when he was in college, we used to shoot a lot all the time. But Aaron's his own force. I don't want to take a single bit of credit. Let's just say we were practice partners, a couple classes. But Aaron definitely has a great ability, very good skill set. And the best thing is he has what I've lacked my entire career, which is consistency. Just like Christian and the other top guys, he can maintain discipline through course after course and really not get it too out of control, which is a strong point. Again, when he won the Nationals, a couple years ago, his consistency is what absolutely rocked him and got him that national title.
So we're still waiting to see what his score is on this stage.
Yeah, he's not even pending yet. I wonder what's going on. Here we go.
Here we go.
There's Emily, his wife.
And,
Definitely being a delegate because you
and
have
our
to
social media person, of course.
Oh, absolutely. She's doing a great job as well. Yep.
Emily and Sarah, who's sitting over here. Sarah's running the production from the side, or running the keeping us fed.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
And Emily's done a great job. So, okay, Aaron's scores up. There we go. We can jump back to stats.
Okay, so he was about a second off. I don't know if he had a hiccup. Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
That's why it took so long.
Yeah, he had a miss on a target. I don't know which one. He looked actually pretty good on the points. He only has 5 Charlies, but, of course, that mic is going to be detrimental. Again, the 16.62. He was also probably 3/4 of a second off the pace. Obviously, we were busy talking, so I don't see where that error came. But I'm wondering if it's in the 4th position right here, because that's what I'm talking about, where you're shooting into a position. There is that no-shoot that, as I described earlier, I couldn't even see it. It's kind of blinding or camouflages with the backdrop. So, obviously, I'm just reaching for straws, but I wonder if it came in that area right there. The rest of it looked very good. He was solid, shooting aggressive, 1 for 1 in the steal, looked good.
I think this is their last shooter of the squad that shot now. So this is the end of this squad.
Yep.
I want to go back to that target thing you talked about. So in PCC and in rifle, we shot white targets, which they turned the target around.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
Honestly, I haven't. I know they do it. I know it could be, I don't even know if it's allowed for handgun, but it could be a unique challenge. But then you have to think of, okay, now what become the no-shoots? What become the hardcover? So, again, more of a administrative change. But I've never shot it. You did, right?
Yep. I shot them both, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It takes a little adjustment to get used to.
Yeah.
But once you're shooting it, 1, it helps the ROs see what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And 2, it doesn't blend into the background. So it's a very easy identifiable target.
What about you as the shooter? Can you actually see, like when I shoot, of course, unfortunately, I'm old. I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm blind. So I literally call my dot. I cannot see hits on the target, and I'm not kidding, unless it's 3 yards. As soon as we're at 7 yards, I am calling my dot 100%. I didn't see a single hit all day today. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when you were shooting those white targets, I know you don't have time to look, but as you punch the paper, could you actually see the hits?
Yes. Short answer.
Interesting.
Certainly out to 15 yards, you can see them, which I like. I probably shouldn't say that because I'm one of these people that likes to see the hits, and that helps my confidence. But I liked it. I mean, it's something we should, I think, experiment with. In USPSA, it's not legal to have white shoot targets.
It's not, okay.
No.
Interesting. What about IPSC? Anybody inquire about it?
Well, they didn't have a problem running it in those 2 matches. And
Okay.
they used red targets, by the way, as the no-shoot targets.
Interesting.
All right, we're going to fade out here to a break. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
great.
sir.
It's been a pleasure to have you with me.
Everyone, thanks for watching. Action Streaming Live is doing a phenomenal job. I'm serious, guys. The presence here and their professionalism is exceptional.
And we're back, coming to you live from the 2025 Handgun World Shoot in South Africa. Had some weather changes. We've had a little bit of rain again, and so some of our cameras have had to come back in. We can't run some of the cameras out in the rain. But we do have one or two people out there, so we'll bring you some shots. I want to introduce you to a long-time friend of mine, Dominique Meyer from Switzerland. Dominique, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Leighton. Hello.
And I've got to remember to talk a little slower. His English is way better than my Swiss. And he's, obviously this is the national broadcast. So I'm very happy to have somebody here. You can maybe say something, your own language, to your friends out there.
Ja, hallo zusammen, die die Schweiz zulassen. Schaut, es ist eine geile Sache hier in Südafrika. Es macht Fun und macht mit, schießt die IPSC. Thank you, Leighton.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Dominique, you and I met, and I want to talk about this because this is one of the reasons we do these international matches, right? We met way back in 2017, right?
I remember, yes.
Yeah.
Some there in the French Nationals before the World Shoot.
Yeah. I was very quiet back then, right? I didn't say much. I was very quiet back then, right? I didn't say much.
Okay, yeah.
No, I wasn't. That's Dominique always talks about how much I've got to say about everything. But Dominique and his significant other, Christine, is right over there. They were wonderful. And I want to bring this up because when we travel, it's very scary traveling. This World Shoot, there's 1,800 people here. There's 133 competitors from the United States, but 61 of them have never traveled outside the U.S.
Okay, sure.
So there were a lot of very nervous people before this match, and Dominique is one of the people that introduced me way back to international shooting and was very gracious, helped us organize with Harold. Remember Harold?
Yeah, sure.
With the hotel. He had a little private hotel, and I saw Harold the other day, actually.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But he closed his hotel, huh?
He has. I was shooting a match in Czech, and he messaged me, and he came out, and that's amazing. It's great to make friends like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Shooting is also results, okay, but also meet friends and talk together. When I start 1919, we have no Facebook, no Instagram, so we had the big matches. So for meet the people from overseas, from other country, every 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, and that's 1990, not because 1919 would make you a long ways back, right?
Yeah.
You're 150 years old. But what brought you into shooting?
Well, I was in military in Swiss Army and shoot all the precision stuff, but it's boring me a little bit. And a friend showed me a video from U.S. Nationals 1989. And then I saw this video from Maggie McGill or so.
Yes.
This guy, the very cool video from the old Jerry Barnhart, Rob Latham, and all the guys from US. And so I told my friend, I need this sport. And I searched a club in Switzerland. We was one of the first country shoot IPSC. I found the club, and so it starts 1990.
That's fantastic. I love that. And of course, Rob Latham still shoots with us.
Sure.
The other guys, I haven't seen them for a while. But it's really great to hear that. Talk a little bit about Christine. You and Christine met a number of years ago. She's a little shy to come on the broadcast with us, but that's okay. Talk about how you met her and how you've been training with her and all the way up to...
Yeah, it's a lovely story. I met her on the shooting range maybe 2010, 2011. I saw the potential from her, what she can do, and at first I was only her coach before we get a friendship. And so we continue, we make a road plan until 2017, the World Shoot in France, and so she won also the World Championship, and it was very cool, yeah.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal shooter. She used to shoot standard, but you said that she's changed.
Yeah, she shoot long time 40, standard or limited in US. We was also many times in US shoot the 3-gun nationals in Florida. She shot, and 2 years ago she changed to open because she need also the red dot, and it's more fun.
Yes. Well, great shooter. What's her nickname?
Combat Hamster.
Combat Hamster. She's got this little hamster that travels around with her. It's so cute because she puts it up on the stage, takes pictures. I love these stories. This is what makes shooting fun, right?
Yeah. And
Dominique's always the one to, because I'm much more serious than him, and so I'll always walk up to him in a match and say, hey, so who's winning? He's like, don't don't be so serious, right?
Yeah, finish the first race before we look the results.
Yeah, and he's quick to. The only time I've ever beaten him is when he was injured. So, but we don't care about that, right?
No,
Right.
friendship is overall.
Yeah, yeah, and friendship's great. Dominique, what do you think of the world shoot so far? You've shot two groups now, 2 areas.
Yeah,
right?
I shoot yesterday and tomorrow, very early today. I like them. It's a very fast match. Very high hip factors. That means you have to press.
Yeah.
You have to go, go, go.
You're more of a precision shooter, right? You like the more accurate type stages.
I like the alphas, yeah.
Yeah.
We need them. We need them. But I think I'm also not the fastest shooter because I'm 57. I'm now also senior. But I like the stages. We see that the stages are not that difficult. I know we have, you say it in the beginning, we have 1,800 shooters. I made shooters here who shot the first match. So I why they do the matches more easier. But anyway, the best is the best in the end. Yeah.
Yep. And I've also been told that the reason is to run it faster, so there's no delays. So obviously there's a cycle time, etc. So if you have a very complicated stage, one, the walkthroughs are more difficult, and the walkthroughs here are short. Do you like the 8-person squad?
Yeah.
Versus 12 or 16?
Yeah. When I start, maybe 30 years ago, we shot 1 day 6 stage. So we are the whole 5 days on the range. That was very hard for shoot only 6 stage because the squads were 20 or 22 people. And now it's good, it's faster, and when you have your boyfriend or your wife with you, you can also visit a little bit more from the country when you not stay all day on the range.
Yeah, and that's how I got hold of Dominique. He was walking by, and we were supposed to have Bellino, but Bellino got caught up because he's running the match. And so Dominique very kindly stepped in.
Sure.
I said it was my plan B, but we really appreciate having you
No
here.
problem.
Dominique, one last thing. So you've been to the U.S., you've shot a lot in the U.S. How do you compare like shooting in the U.S. To shooting internationally? What do you think?
You remember 2017 you visit France for preparing for the World Shoot, and I remember Christopher had a little bit problem. He was always too fast of the small partial targets, the IPSC targets, who are really easy, also smaller than the USPSA target. I like both. In USA, you have always, in USPSA, you have always the hit factors, always looks on the hit factors. Fast, mostly the targets are on the same height. And the IPSC, I think it's more difficult.
Yep.
It's more hard, the small targets.
Well, we're not going to show any of Dominique's scores because he doesn't want to know what his scores are, so I had to hide the screen from him, make sure it's not there. But Dominique, thank you. And thank you for the friendship over the years and for you and the hamster over there for everything you guys have done for the sport.
Yeah.
You're great supporters.
Leighton, thank you, and thank you for this live stream. It's very cool.
And we're coming back in a little while, so don't go away. We've got some things we're going to talk about after this, and we'll see you in a few minutes. And we're back with you guys, coming to you live. We've got some fans in the background waving to our cameras. We're going to give you some wide shots. Say hi to everybody out there. That tent you saw in the background is the Philippines tent. It's right here next to us. They sure know how to do things in luxury. We're waiting on the Super Squad. They're going to be up in a minute, but while we're waiting on them, Maneki's back with us. Maneki Samajima from Phoenix. Maneki, thank you again. Maneki's also been one of the photographers. He's doing double duty. He's presenter and guest, and then he's also helping on the photography side. Thank you very much.
And I'm shooting too, so.
And you're shooting.
Right,
I know.
same as you.
We got to kind of mix this up between everybody. While we're waiting on the Super Squad, they're actually right behind us, literally right there behind us. We're going to show you some things. We'll also kind of cut back and forth between some of the other videos. We have only 2 cameras out there. As I said earlier on, the weather conditions are pretty tough. It was raining earlier, and this is stage 10 that we're on. Let's see if we can actually pull up stage 10 for a second. Okay, so this is stage 10. Maneki, this is new. You haven't seen this before, but you see the down there. That means that's who's shooting now.
Okay, good.
So the shooter on deck right now is Lorenzo from. I'm sorry, the shooter shooting right now is Lorenzo Masiri
from Philippines, I guess.
Italy.
Oh, from Italy, yeah.
Yep. So as we said. Oh, that's a couple of shots right there at the end. They were pretty late coming through. So we're going to kind of jump back and forth here between the scoring. We'll show you what the guy behind that, just ahead of this shooter was. Zlasi Francesco.
20 seconds.
He ran that in 20. And in a second, we're going to see. So, Maneki, you'll see. So, obviously, as soon as they put the time in here, then this screen will go to a blue screen. And then it goes to green once the scores have been entered, and he's hit submit. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the scores. If you guys stats want to jump over to the stats computer real fast.
Oh. Okay, now that's a stage 24, it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of the Thailand shooters.
That's a strong hand only stage. I just shot this morning.
Walk us through that stage, Maneki.
So that's 12 rounds, then stronger hand only. And you start, most shooters did the same way. So right now, that that position, you see the no-shoot target?
Yep.
You could see that target from the end. Now he's shooting. So that was 2 options. You shoot that target as a last one, or you're gonna shoot T4. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, T4 from the back. So our idea was when you shoot T4 from back, the transitions from steel to T4 was minimum. So some people did that way, but shooting was a little harder since it's far distance. I shot that one from the end. So I shot wide open target, then finish on no shoot, but that was long transition between, so probably I lost some time, but I wanted to be easy on myself,
So you see there, you can jump back to stats. That's who just shot, Arif Elia.
Hit factor was 3.8.
So that's a previous shooter.
That's a previous shooter.
So you see the blue, that means that he just hit submit right now, and in a couple of seconds time, his score will show up top here as well.
Okay.
So the Marston you see there is previous shooter. There he is. Okay, so you see he dropped 2 Charlies.
4 hit factor, 40222. Okay, that's a good score.
Yeah, that's a good score. He's actually leading that stage, so if you see directly on the shooter there, it shows the hit factor.
Yep.
So here's the next shooter. He's from Thailand. This is Sirapop Hamala.
Yep, he finished on the no-shoot too. Yeah.
He's a junior.
Oh.
Not a lot of juniors in this match. The US only brought 2 juniors out with us.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying. I reached out to a number of juniors, just couldn't get enough people, couldn't get enough interest. Going back to the previous shooter, his first shot, so obviously that's strong hand stage. His first shot was 1.25, which is not bad.
I think it's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
The target was not a easy shot, so that's pretty impressive actually.
Yeah, and his second shot was 165.4 later, so pretty quick. So here we are. You see the score, the stripe in blue. This is a new thing for those of you who haven't seen this before. Stats has put that in there, so it's easy for us to find out or see the next person. And now that he's entered that, there his score is up top.
He shot 13 seconds. That's quick too. Yeah.
Yep. And he's moved into the first position on that squad at 4.27 hit factor. For those of you watching on the screen, that's here. I had a couple of people online talk about the fact that these screens are small and hard to read. I get that. There's nothing we can do about that. This is the way it's coming to us, but it's obviously fantastic that we can see this, so I'm very appreciative. We've tried zooming in on some of them. We're just not set up well enough, and it jumps the image around, so we don't like that. If we just jump back to stats for a second, guys, I want to show something. So you see here on the right-hand side, this is also, we talked about this before.
Extra shots, right?
Extra shots, right?
Yep.
You can see on a strong hand stage, we're inclined to shoot a lot of extra shots, but those guys are actually pretty efficient. This MC percentage, this is a new thing which you haven't seen before. That is basically the match percentage that they've shot. So this shows us how far that person is with the match.
Right. So
that is actually going to change. That it won't be 30.77 in the future. On the next update, which will be later today, I've asked them to drop to 77 and just put 30%.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't need to know all that detail.
Right.
Got the time in there. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other results. So we pull that screen up. Okay, back to our stats computer, please. So we talked about this earlier on. This is open. We're going to chat about. As I said, we talked about the fact that the USA Open men's team was ahead. You see that 15-19. This is as of yesterday.
Okay.
This is not live. Okay. So we know that those guys are shooting right now, but this summary is not live. In actual fact, this summary is the one that is on the website that everybody gets access to, and that I pulled down to show you. We're not tracking the teams live at this point in time.
Right.
And the reason for that is because it gets so complicated. It's almost impossible, even for us, to be able to tell if they're tracking it live. This is stage 50.
This is a stage we shot yesterday, weekend on this stage.
Yeah, I remember. It's actually interesting to see how many people shot that super fast. You know, like
Strong
literally,
hand,
and it's a
weekend.
high-risk stage. I mean, there's a target on the left-hand side that's a no-shoot. Probably, remember, IPSC, there's no requirement of how much of the A zone has to be visible. It's just part of.
It can be really tight. Yep.
Yep. And yet shooting left-handed. All right, let's jump back to stats again. I want to show you guys the ladies division, which is super interesting. So if you go this is actually senior. I'll start off with senior. So the USA team is in the lead. That's Henning Wahlgren, Shannon Lee, and Joe Druggy. Crazy how close it is between them. And you can look at their scores: 468, 453, 435.
Yeah, all consistently close, actually. Yeah, very close. Yeah.
And, of course, they're leading the match. They're 150 points ahead of second place, which is South Africa. South Africans are good, too. Peter Bauer is there. Mark Gagos. Mark and I have been friends for many, many years. He's come out and shot the 2014 World Shoot in
Florida.
Florida, yes. Yep. This is the shootout of Zimbabwe. This is the weekend stage again. Shot an Alpha Charlie there. That's the target I talked about. On camera, it looks closer than it is. That's some heavy recoil on that. What was he shooting?
Probably standard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the gun was.
Yeah, hit factor for standard is 170, right?
Yep. Not the hit factor, power factor.
I'm sorry, power factor.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I've been looking at too much hit factor stuff. This is stage 16 that we're on now.
We also shot this one yesterday, right, Rayton?
Yes.
I believe you did pretty well on this one. I think I saw you shooting this one.
Yeah, this stage
starts with a steel.
Good. You got that steel on the right, which is quite a long way down.
Right.
And then you got the two close targets in front. And everybody waits to see if they hit the steel.
Right, right.
Reload. Took too long on that reload. You guys pay attention carefully. Let's go back to that shot. Can we hold that shot and see the timer on the top there? Oh, sorry, my bad. The timer on the top right-hand side. You see that timer? That's a timer. That's going to be the next phase for us. I've been pushing for this for like 2 years. Remember Rio Salada last year, 2024, we ran the timers and the displays at Rio. Those were AMG displays. It was great. It's the first match that actually had timers on every stage, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And it was awesome. And I've been talking about it here. Those are the special Pi displays, and they're pretty cool. They're actually soft. They can flex.
Oh, wow.
So you can put them across the stage. I think that's something that we should have as a requirement on all the high-level 3, 4, and 5 matches. That way people can see. You can see what the splits are on the last shot, the stop. T2238, they can actually do round counts as well, depending on how you set it up.
So
and,
that's the 34, I believe. That's the round, the
round
shot
count?
he shot, I believe.
Yeah,
This is 32 round stage, so he had 2 extras, I believe.
Yeah, good call. That's probably what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to our stats computer. We'll take a look at the other teams. So we talked about Open men's, what used to be men's, now called overall. Open Super Senior, that's the team that I'm on. There you can see we are in the lead by about 100 points as well. Frank Garcia is having an amazing match. He's shooting really well. I shot pretty well yesterday. I was happy I had 2 mics on one stage, but the rest of the stages, the other 5 stages, I shot really well. Mel's coming up just a few points behind me, and Jim Boone, who's of course the Area 1 director, is right there too. He made up his extra shot there.
So 26.21. He had a total 35 shots. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but on the second position on the left-hand side, he shot a mic obviously on that target, and then he transitioned, shot the 2 next to it, and then
he made up immediately.
He shot it, but the target moved, which means he shot a delta.
Yeah.
And I was watching the RO. The RO called, so it's hand up in the air for
that's
alpha,
and the
delta is hand down, so you could see that. But obviously, a delta is still better than a mic, and it didn't cost you very much time. There are more of our fans. I think that's a German uniform on the right-hand side. Yeah, those are the Germans. 75 countries represented here.
Yeah,
you shoot for Japan. I mean, you live in the US, but this time you're shooting for Japan, right?
And a few people ask me about how that works, Technically, IPSC, you know this. It doesn't matter your nationality. You have to shoot the country where you live. So residency is the first priority. So I supposed to shoot for USPSA. But, you and the regional director from Japan, you guys had agreement that I can represent Japan since I still have a Japanese nationality. That's how it works.
Yep.
So if somebody from this, USA, let's say, move to Japan, they live there more than 6 months, then he's supposed to represent Japan because that's where his residency is.
Right.
Many people don't understand that, but that's something you need to remember.
I think it's pretty cool that you're representing Japan, and
I'm the only one anyway, so.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yep.
All right, let's jump back to stats. We'll take a look at the ladies' team. This is the Americans are in second place, but you can see they're only in second place by 1 point.
Wow, that's close. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Megan, Anna, Jessica, and Linda are doing a great job over there. It's going to be tough on them. They lost the 2 top shooters in the US, couldn't make it because of babies. That's obviously Jesse Harrison and Sloan. But these guys are doing well, and I haven't actually seen them shoot, but I was told yesterday that they have a really great vibe.
I saw some of their stages. They are doing good, I think.
That's awesome.
Yep.
They have a tough hill to climb.
Yep.
Because the Philippines are good. Czech Republic, they're actually up on Czech by 40 points, but the Czechs are good. I've always been worried about the Czech team. Martina Sierra is their number one shooter. Martina, as you can see, is leading, ladies. She's overall leader right now, and she's really good. I've shot against Martina many times. She was also out here at the state shooting last month at the Nationals, and she came out for Florida. I think she shot a match in Florida. So
Okay.
very, very experienced international shooter, more than likely the top shooter in the world right now, ladies. That's obviously at this match. So she's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
She shoots for the CZ team. There's also another shooter. See where I can see that is. Yeah, the Italian shooter. There she is. Denny Rosetta. I don't know her, but I saw her name show up because guys can see her.
Her score is pretty good.
She's
yeah.
at 423, which is
Yeah.
higher than any of our shooters, and she's lying second to Martina. So I'll have to figure out who she is because that's definitely somebody we've got to pay attention to
Yep.
from the overall. All right, well, we're going to take a break here for a second. I think the Super Squad is going to be coming up in a few minutes' time, so don't go anywhere.
Right.
We're going to kind of like move over there and see what that looks like. Appreciate you guys joining in. Hey, let us know where you are watching this from. We know we're having some sound issues from different parts of the world. We're not quite sure exactly how to pin that down, but it'd be useful if you could comment. Let us know where you're watching from. And then also please follow on our social media. Social media team are doing a great job, and we really appreciate them out there. Without that, you wouldn't know where to find us. And a shout out to my team as well. I'm really proud of how they're pulling everything together today. The conditions here are tough. Not for nothing, I'm wearing a jacket. And
Yeah, it was tough this morning, right?
Yeah,
we
it
had
was
a
tough.
thunders, lightning. It was getting cold too. So.
Yep. But we'll hang in there, and we appreciate you guys joining us. So we'll be back after the short break. And welcome back, everybody. We're coming to you live from stage 22 of the 2025 Handgun World Shoot in South Africa. We've got the Super Squad coming up here at about probably, I would say, a minute from now. We got the camera guys over there real quick, and they're going to be showing the stage live to us. And Maneki, who's here with me, is going to be commenting and give you guys a quick look at that. So before we go to that, let's go to stats real fast, guys. So Maneki, talk us through the stage.
Okay, so I just shot this stage this morning. It's a 23 rounds and empty chamber. So the diagram is not 100% right as the actual stage. So you start from the little bit left side of the window. Then obviously after beep you have to lock the slide. Then of course when you're in kind of focus on the stage and it's unusual start position, sometimes you forgot to lock the slide. Then I was actually the first shoot on this one. I did okay. So yeah, now you see everybody's making sure lock the slide. That's a steal. Then it's not easy shoot. You want to make sure you hit the prep the trigger right.
And of course, being the Super Squad, they have a big crowd out there. This gets bigger and bigger, which is, of course, we love to see everybody watching.
Right.
It's not something we can see. That those two people there, that's Christian's parents. There's Christian. That's that angle there where Christian came across. That looks pretty close to the 180 line, right? Especially because you got those two white steel plates on the left.
Yeah, it is close. Yep. Then that red steel is actually no shoot. So it was something not really you can go pa-pam.
Yes, yes. All right, so the walkthrough is over. I'm going to jump back and see who is the first shooter on that stage. We'll know here in a second. Our tablet will show us that. It actually looks like it's Moreno. Sometimes on a walkthrough they will give the first shooter an extra look at the stage without anybody on the stage. It really depends.
Depends on the ROs, I think. Yeah. I didn't get that one.
Oh, you didn't? You got to ask. That's John Flieger on the left. That's Danny on the right. Danny is one of our managers, one of our team managers that has been phenomenal. Him and Troy are the two that kind of keep everything running in the background, making sure that if there's an issue, there was actually an issue on the stage here a little while ago, and Danny got over it. They took care of it. I always tell shooters it's way better to let the managers come in and handle these calls, because as a shooter you're pretty hot at that stage.
Right.
You're like keyed up and so forth. All right, so this is stage 22. Unloaded start. Actually, it's a round. It's no rounded chamber.
Yes. No. Magazines in the magazines in the gun, but the empty chamber. Oh no. So probably you saw it. He shot the no shoot.
Yeah, he hit the no shoot.
He tried to shoot or move that, steel. I wouldn't do it. It was not easy.
Yeah, if we got a camera shot, let's see if the camera can pan over to that no shoot, show you guys what it looks like. It's a red plate, obviously. See if we can get that before it gets painted, but probably by now it's been painted.
Yeah, they're really quick.
They're pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the risk, right?
They took it. I mean, he took it. I mean.
Yep. We actually have two cameras on the stage. I just realized I saw Max on the right-hand side, so I think it's Carson and Max work at the stage. Trevor and Max filming this stage. They haven't painted that steel.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tell them paint that steel.
Yeah, they're gonna paint it, I hope.
Yeah. That would definitely be a distraction if you come across. You got to shoot those two tight shots, and the steel's not painted.
Yeah.
So that was. I still don't have an update on the tablet. I don't know if I've lost. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, stats. If you want to jump over to stats computer, there we go.
Yep.
So
2D one no shoot. Yeah.
Yep. There his score is, and he dropped his 6.3 on that stage. I don't remember. We'll see if we pull Maneki's stage here. Next up, we have Christian Saylor. What's your number?
1367. That's my number. No.
So while we're waiting for Christian, Maneki shot a 17.49 on the stage with a 6.3 hit factor. Christian Saylor.
Yeah, beautiful. No extra movement at all. And probably you saw the strategy different. He shot the lay down target first after the first steal target. He shot lay down, then he went to steal. I believe maybe it was paper. It was different.
Yeah, that's great. So we'll get Christian's score up here in a second. Obviously, we don't have that immediately, not yet. That's coming.
Yeah.
The next time around we'll be doing this, we'll actually be able to access those times literally live as they're shooting the stage. But I'm going to guess it's going to be around 13, 14. There we go. No. So they've entered his time, and that's what the blue stripe means. They've entered his time, and now he's hit submit, and in a second or two we'll get the score up on our screens. So we can jump over to stats here, guys. That's the previous shooter, obviously. And Christian should be up. There we go. Okay, Christian said they dropped 4 Charlies, ran at 12.95.
Wow, 12.95.
That's crazy. Well, that's a stage win because
Obviously.
I looked earlier on, and we were nowhere near that number. Wow, 12.95. So, Maneki, where were you? That's 5 seconds slower.
Oh no, that's way too slow. But what do you think? I didn't see like any extra movement from Christian's run.
Yeah.
Now John's up.
Amazing shooter, Christian.
Yeah, same way as Christian did, but he had a few extra shots.
Couple of extra shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the 3 on the left-hand side going through there. We'll see John Fleegers. They run these stages really quick, guys. So when we finally get the score through, literally the next person's ready and they make ready. I think there's about a 2-minute time between the load and make readies, which is super fast. And as you guys have probably realized if you're watching, paying attention, they've finished scoring the stage, most of the stage, with you still shooting. I mean,
Right.
they're scoring it, and they're using hand signals. So we appoint a delegate. There we go. John is in scoring now, so he's in, they've entered his time, and we'll get his score up here in a second. Next up is Aaron, and then after Aaron is going to be a shooter from the Philippines, and then Brian. John Flieger is not an amazing shooter. He was also huge in trying to organize our ammunition shipment.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It didn't work out, unfortunately, but no fault of John's. But really appreciate John doing
the
that.
score came in 8 hit factor.
Yep, look at that.
Yeah, that's also good score. Wow, still 13.59. Then 6 Charlie.
Yeah,
6
so
Charlies.
Christian's time was 12.95. We could jump over to stats really quick while Aaron's making ready. So there you see his John Flieger shot a 13.59. Christian was a 12.95, but only 6 Charlies. That's a good run. Next up, we have Aaron Edens. Aaron is shooting his Team USA shirt. Yesterday, he shot his Team AMU shirt.
Stand by.
That looked good.
That looked good.
Did he have an extra shot? Maybe one.
I think one on the left, yeah, as he came through there.
Yeah.
So as I'm watching this, I'm watching our camera crews going in on the stage. So I said earlier on, we're going to push the envelope a little bit, see if they allow us. Initially, they weren't allowing cameras on the stage at all. but we have special permission on that time. We followed
Oh,
Aaron all the way
yeah.
through to the back of the stage. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that at some point, but that's the way it should be. And in the future, obviously, we need to get better cameras into the stages. And we weren't able to do that here. But, again, going back to these times, you're seeing very high hit factors on a stage. And that's a difficult stage.
Yeah.
But it's close. Targets are wide open.
When top guys shooting, such a fast speed, you have to catch up with that. But it's actually not easy. That stage was not easy to go faster. Easily you can throw delta, even Mike.
Yep.
So
Yep. I picked on you, Maneki, for being 5 seconds slower, but it always amazes me. I think I shoot so fast,
Right.
and then you come in and you're 20% behind in time. That's roughly how that ends up, All right, Aaron's entering, signing his tablet, so we'll have his scores up here in a second. I can drop over to the tablet. And that's still Flieger's time. It's up there now. And in a second, we'll have... Nope. We'll show you his score.
1340 and 7 Charlies. Yep.
So this is Mark Inojada from the Philippines. It's really good. So we'll go back and talk about Aaron. So Aaron actually came in pretty good there. He ran a 13.40 time, and you can see it here. And he shot he only had 7 Charlies, and he's at 805 hit factor. Christian's at 8.5, but that puts Aaron in second place ahead of Flieger and ahead of the first shooter, who's Renrio.
Yeah, Christian has also shot only 4 Charlie.
That's Christian.
Yeah.
He shoots at the fastest time, and he's got all Charlie. It's pretty incredible to see and experience. So next shooter up, we have Brian Jones from the United States.
So I did talk to him yesterday. I did talk to him what happened to him yesterday. He had a dot issue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how. Remember, I think.
That was that left-handed stage too, wasn't it?
No, it was
No?
the other stage. But right now, I think he's doing good though today.
Yeah, I remember somebody said that he had a bunch of steel on that stage that he was trying to shoot.
Yeah, he
without
had
a
a
dot.
problem with the dot size. Now he got a new dot sight on his gun, so hopefully this one goes well for him.
Brian has his dad here as well. As you don't know, he's one of the RMIs. Great guy. Excellent instructor. Long mate ready. It's always risky because they can make you step out of the box if you take too long, but I haven't actually seen them do that.
I see the difference. Maybe this could be almost similar time to Christian.
Yeah, that was a very good run.
Yeah.
Boy, he took that steel fast.
Right,
You see that?
right. I saw that.
Yeah, transition across.
So
drilled
steel,
those two.
steel, paper, and paper. That transition was quick. So now I see 2 alpha sign. Alpha Charlie.
Yesterday when I had Christian talking here, he was watching, he was pointing out all the mistakes that people make and the time, and he said, and I actually found that quite distracting because I had to go shoot those stages that afternoon. It definitely didn't help, I'll tell you that. 'Cause when I was walking the stage, like, oh, wait, Christian was saying about this, and so, trying to remember all that stuff and how to shoot the stage and how to hold your gun. You can't be thinking about that when you're shooting here. Here it's just got to flow. So that's obviously the last American on this particular squad. That's Brian.
Yeah, probably he's
Brian.
happy about the score.
There he is. Wow.
Okay, see, the time was 12:37.
Yep.
It was even faster than Christian.
That's right. Christian had a
And
12.95.
now 8 hit factor, or beating the Christian.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a new high hit factor on that stage. for the match.
Right. Probably, yeah, that's probably gonna be the stage win for him. 8 hit factor.
Stand by.
All right. Well, at the end of this, we're going to take a break again. The Super Squad still have 2 more stages to shoot. We have tape that we're going to show you guys a little bit later, probably after the lunch break, because I see we're at 11:10 right now. We won't get that in. The editing and so it has to be done by a cameraman. They're out in the field, so probably over lunch we'll finish the edit of that. When we come back after lunch, we'll show you some of the tape from the 6:30 a.m. session this morning,
Okay.
which we obviously weren't able to bring to you live, but we've got some pretty cool stages from there this morning. So again, Maneki, thanks for joining us.
No
Maneki's going to be
problem.
doing some of the stuff later as well when I'm shooting this afternoon. He's going to help cover us, him and Shannon, and we really appreciate all you guys joining us and following our broadcasts.